So he prepared dinner, and I had a lengthy discussion with Mr. Gorbachev. I was deeply impressed by his open-mindedness, holding me and said, well, Mr. Bang, I read your, all this Cuba system in the privatization program in Kazakhstan and all that. But what he was saying was that, well, Soviet Union inherited this from Lenin, so-called socialistic system, central planning, command economic system, which doesn't function too well. And he was saying that he wants to make a better, more efficient, more productive system, introducing glasnost and perestroika within that system, which means that instead of implement the market-oriented economic reform, which you have seen, including opening in Kazakhstan, he wanted to retain this Soviet, former central planning system and make it more efficient. I told him why he cannot succeed. We had quite a heated discussion and all that. I do not wish to go into detail. But then he said that, Mr. Bang, I want to know that I'm very devoted and dedicated communist. When I die, when I go to the tomb or my grave, I wish historian will record me as an outstanding, dedicated communist. I died as a communist. I respect you for that. Next day, I met Mr. President Sultan and asked me, what is your impression? You had this number of discussion and lengthy discussion, and I told him, Mr. President, I'm afraid that Mr. Gorbachev is going to fail. He may also lose his presidency. Failure will affect negatively. As you recall that August that year, 6 months later, I met him twice. But when he was taking Sochi vacation, then his vice president arrived, which I know him quite well. I met on several occasions. He organized a coup. Subsequently, he lost the presidency. Simultaneously, communism became illegal. So, we are sitting here today because of him. Even though he failed, I consider he is one of the greatest leader and statesman. Without him, you won't be here. Without him, we might have witnessed nuclear Armageddon. Those people in Russia owe him deeply. The improvement of living standard. So when you judge, when you try to gauge one's leadership, you have to gauge, extend the scope of change, the positive change he brought to this world. Keep in mind, the fate, success, and failure of organization, country depend upon you. You have seen that without the movement, our World War II might have changed. Historians record that without the Churchill, Great Britain might have had to sacrifice more than 1 or 2 million people. So, country or organization, whether the country or that organization will succeed or fail, depends upon one person, leader. Success or failure of KIMEP University depends upon the president here. you have to bear in mind. So, question arises. What in the world the leaders do? Well, simply lead, guide, direct. That's what leaders do. Or leaders do. You may try to come up with a little more formal definition. What does it entail, leadership? Leadership is a capacity to influence other people, unleashing their power and potential to impact the greater good. And what does it mean by that? Influence other people, unleashing their potential and power to impact the greater good. Let me just anecdote, one more anecdote. This is incidentally, I read a fair amount of books about leadership and all that. I'm not going to bore you with all this theory. It's a leadership in action. In 2002, Korea, there's a World Cup. You remember World Cup? And Korea was, the players were not very good. The second, third range players in Korea, they were struggling even to try to be champion in Asia, but they were having trouble. So they invited Hiding. It's a Hiding. He came to Korea. So he organized a new team. And if you are put in just what was Anka, as you recall that the entire history of sports history in Korea, first time Korea advanced final, quarterfinal. How did he do that? How did he do that? Previously, each coach will collect and organize team. Okay, minister recommended his son, so he has to include the team. President's nephew is also included in the team, and all that. But he didn't do that. First thing was that I had to identify who has a potential, who is willing to, who is trying to, try to strive. So he identified the, players who have a potential, organize, then set the goal very high. Well, our goal is to become either semi-finalist or at least, number 4, means quarter. He relentlessly trained them, motivating them, inspiring them. This is how he achieved. I watched the game and I was fascinated. All those players, like Park Ji-sung to Han Jong-han, to many players become worldly renowned player, playing for Manchester United and all other world-class soccer club. So what do we learn from this? Again, you have to identify, people who have motivation, who has a potential. Then you influence them to create a, greater good. This is what he has done. This is what he has done. This is what leader, outstanding, great leader does. Let me tell you another anecdote. It's a painful experience. Some of you sitting here. Well, 2 years ago, we changed the name of university, KIMEP to KIMEP University. They said, unless you change the name, KIMEP cannot introduce or maintain graduate program. No master's degree program, no doctoral degree program. So we had to change it. One thing we didn't know, I was not told. Once you change, you have to reapply for renewal of license, undergraduate, graduate, including attestation. We had only 6 weeks to fulfill all these things. So I convened the meeting, Vice President Dr. O'Hara and everybody. Then they said, Mr. President, we are doomed. We cannot do it. We cannot do it. We need at least 6 months, not 6 weeks. I'll be sitting here. So he said, I'll resign. So, first, what I did, I organized people, 40 people, including some resources sitting here, including from library, because we had to prepare tons of documents. Every day, 9 o'clock meeting, lunch and food is provided. 6 o'clock, I assigned everybody. Library, you have to do this. This one, who is going to do this person, that person. Okay, who is going to prepare the, like a curriculum, this and that. Practically speaking too. We renewed undergraduate license. We renewed graduate license. Attestation. Vice President and with the assistant, associate vice president, came to my office. Mr. Man, I'm sorry to convey to you, I have a good bad news. What is bad news? When the chairman of attestation dispatched by Ministry of Education is asking 1 million tenge. We know that we cannot do it. Unless we pay Greece, so-called, bribes this lady, we are finished. We cannot, recruit a student. We cannot organize and award, hand out the diploma because we don't have a license. This is when I heard, I said, on my dead body, here is a witness sitting in this room. I said, I will not even pay one thing. So every evening time, 12 o'clock, Saturday, Sunday, these 40 to 50 people come and assign and come back, and they progress report again, checking and again and again. Sunday, 1 o'clock, I got phone call. When chairman finished all this document reviewed, she said that this is the best outcome that she ever witnessed. KIMEP not only passed with excellence. This is how we renew the license. Renew the license. What do you learn from this experience? Number one, when leader encounter crisis, some leader will feel panic. Once you lose confidence as a leader, you're finished. You will be decimated. If your commander lead an army, that army will be decimated, destroyed by the enemy. You have to have confidence, self-confidence. You know you can do it. Number two, you have to stand up. You have to lead. You have to inspire people who are interested in the leadership. You can do it. We can do it. This is a wrong man with 1,000. He captured 10,000 prisoners. How could he do that? He knew he can do it. Because enemy is disarray. They are not really led by an able leader. Wrong man, he knew he can do it. This is how leaders do. Again, influencing other people, unleashing their power and potential to impact the greater good. So, as I had illustrated this example, you know that the trusting people and trust of your leadership, you mobilize, inspire them, and with a single-minded objective, do it. Let me tell you another example. couple of years ago, I was invited by one of the leading university rector graciously invited me to there. So I accepted. I was an honored guest. So when I entered to his university, first, this please come here. I couldn't see any student. They said student cannot, either come to the floor, corridor, and all that because you are important process. Everybody, prohibited coming to the floor. Then he proudly taking me to the elevator. This is elevator solely designated to Mr. President. Nobody can use it. He was very proud of saying that. So I entered to the elevator, first floor and all that. Then he led to me, please, and then he had a big office. And office also has a separate room, toilet, and a banquet hall. Solely designated to the president. When I entered that room, I was flabbergasted. The food was horse meat to beef to chicken to all the fish, 4 or 5 different November. And cognac to vodka, wine, all kind of. I was really humbled. But sitting there, what I learned was that the students, they organized dance group. November, these students were half naked, so they perform. We are sitting there eating. The president says, okay, they perform. Then when I talk, stop. Oh my God, I had indigestion. I was so uncomfortable, felt the uncomfortable feeling. What does it entail? This is a self-serving leader. Most important thing is that to maximize, optimize his well-being, not to try to optimize or try to serve well-being of people. Well-being of people who are subordinate or who are in that organization. If you want to be a leader, then you have to learn. You have to be really not self-serving, but you have to try to serve the well-being and welfare of the interests of other people in that organization. If you don't have that, you should not be leader. Leader always has to be honest. Integrity of a leader becomes very important. Let me tell you one anecdote. When Ministry of Education always administered exit tests around 4 or 5 years ago. So our student took this exit test. I found out miserably failed because students didn't take it really seriously. And they left and all that thing. They didn't prepare really with motivation. So we failed. License was suspended. So Vice President Dean came and said, "Listen, man, we adopted a resolution." So what is the resolution? Well, this information is get out of hand, by means of dissemination. Somebody learned that we failed. Then KIMEP University failed. So we asked Mr. President, please endorse this resolution. Anybody diverge or disseminate, share this information should be dismissed from university. Well, I said, that's wonderful. That's good. That's a very good idea. So then I said, give me some time. Then I came back to my office and I instructed my assistant and secretary organize convocation assembly. Invite everybody, student, the alma, to everybody. I don't know whether you come on. Then I went to the podium. I said, I have very embarrassing and very bad, unpleasant information to share with you. I told them, we miserably failed. Miserably failed. Miserably failed. Then I told them, this is KIMEP University. We have 1 more month to retake, our students retake this examination. We shall overcome. We shall be prepared. So you check the record. Our student got this 96 second test. This is the best. They said the best history of this university. This is the best score any university attained. You have to be always honest. You know, people who are serving under you. How do you earn their trust? Doing one thing, being honest. For example, you may not like me, you may hate me, but most of you trust me. When I said, when we are having serious crisis, tenge depreciate by more than 50%. So international faculty members, their, compensation salary diminished more than 50% in dollar term. I told them, you have option. You can leave this university or trust me. We make sure in within 2 years, all these laws, purchasing power laws will be somehow made up, compensated. So last year, as you recall, we increased, faculty, international faculty member salary by 25%. This year, we promised to increase